I'm Ezichiade. This is the Golden Circle Movement Channel. We're just getting started here. We have a very important matter to discuss, especially if you are an individual who is about to have lumbar fusion surgery. This is probably the most important information that you're going to want to hear. So make sure you stay tuned all the way to the very end. If you're new, I'm Ezichiade. I just recently had a L3 to S1 procedure, laminectomy, discectomy. So they placed a cage, a riser, a spacer, if you will, in place of the disc that was there. And they ground all of the disc out from the interior of the vertebra, the two adjoining vertebra. And then they put this cage in there. Inside the cage, it has graft material that will create a column of bone graft right there. It also has cadaver bone graft material around, filling it in, which will, over a year's time, become solid fused bone. Now, in order to keep everything spaced properly, they drilled into the vertebra, placing titanium screws and titanium rods to create a cage on either side of my spinal cord. This titanium cage is my support system. It is the reason I can stand upright right now and walk without pain and, lead a relatively normal life. So, what you will want to know is some of the finer points. What happens when you have spinal fusion? What are some of the pitfalls? Now, I've been giving updates over the last few days. I believe we are on to, let's see, like day 8, maybe day 9 since the procedure. And so what happens is when you're under anesthesia, it's good. It helped me stay in that state of mind for the duration of the procedure. But after it was over and I'm convalescing or healing, as it were, then at some point you will need to go to the bathroom. You will need to make a bowel movement. Now, ordinarily, this shouldn't be a problem if you eat fiber, if you get lots of fruit and vegetables, then you shouldn't have a problem, really. However, the anesthesia, the medicines, slow down the peristalsis, the activity, the muscular activity that allows the bowel to pass solid matter through it. So, by that being slowed down, you kind of rely on gravity, except there are points, where the bowel goes upward and then down and around. So that is not a sound strategy. And I thought, well, maybe if I drink olive oil, that will lubricate the bowel enough that it should just pass right through. However, what you won't understand unless you experience it, I have to adjust my position so that the muscles that have been less used on the left side, they get weak. So I have to relax and lean back against something, or even have my cane and I lean forward. But the point here, when you eat, and you must eat protein, protein is very spongy, if you will, in the sense of once the nutrition has been drawn from it, what remains is very porous. Because of this, the oil gets absorbed into the feces, and it is not effective. So a stronger measure was required, because the bowel did move, but there was so much of it, the folds of the bowel got stretched out. So now the bowel is impacted. So in order to get the bowel moving, I drank a solution of Epsom salt and water, distilled water. But the point is that Epsom salt water solution broke down the feces and allowed it to be removed easily from the body without too much strain and stress. So here's what you need to know. Welcome, newcomers. We are discussing the most important facts that you must know before having fusion surgery. Now, I just had fusion surgery, so I can tell you that for like a 24-hour period, I was so impacted that it was pressing against the operation, the vertebra, from the inside of the abdominal cavity. As a result of that, this being such a fresh operation, and this being such a solid, hard matter trying to move by it, the pain was excruciating. So, what I would suggest, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional, I am not qualified to give any information of that nature. So, I will only relay to you what I did. And you may follow suit as you will. But I would say 8 ounces is a good place to start of water with a tablespoon of Epsom salt. Drink it down. In about an hour, you'll notice it's time. Now, if you have a larger matter to deal with, then maybe 16 ounces, 2, 3, even 4 tablespoons. That's how much I use. And this helped break down everything and get the pressure off the inside of my fusion surgery area. I can tell you that kind of pain is not something that you want to experience. So it might be wise. I don't know where your surgery, your procedure may be taking place, but some hospitals have a pre-op. They have a pre-op program where they give you a package, certain vitamins, certain things to do before the actual day of the surgery. If that is the case, I would suggest that you also add this, say 3 days before the surgery. The Epsom salt cleanse, just to remove as much heavy material. Then on the next night, again, Now, you may not want to lay down and rest while that's still there. You may want to stay awake for the hours so that it takes to run through, or if you choose, you can lay down as I do, and I just rest comfortably, and when I get up, that's the first thing that I have to think about. But everything should be gone by that third day before surgery. Not the morning, not the night before surgery, but like 3 days before you go to, say, the hotel or wherever it is you need to be before the situation. This way you can be nice and clear, because you won't eat after midnight before the operation, and this will help you in the after. And once you are released, of course, you're going to want to do the cleanse. Is it uncomfortable? It is not. Now, what is uncomfortable? Laxatives. Laxatives cause peristalsis. That peristalsis, hello. Are you able to hear me okay? I'm not able to sound check myself, so I don't know. We're talking about the most important things to know. This is why I haven't done live for the last 2, maybe 3. I don't remember when I did the last live, but it was about 2 days. And this is why this is so important to know. Ghost Rider, do you perform a cleanse for yourself? Say like an internal cleanse, like periodically, to remove heavy toxins from the body. Is this something that you do, or have you never heard of such a thing? I would love to know. This is something that I found to be very important, especially having you used to, I see. Well, I would tell you, I'm going to assume you may be younger. Now, you see, the kind of condition that I have had. This is because of liver. You know, when your liver is deficient, it will cause a deficiency in some other area of the body. That deficiency will lead to a type of disease. That disease will be unique to your genome, your family tree, your locale, your region, your diet. But one thing I can tell you, if there is processed food in your diet, you need this cleanse. If drink, what do they call it there in South Africa? Do they call it soda pop? Soda pop? What do they call it there in South Africa? If this is something that you drink, then it will lead to liver damage. Ghost Rider says, damn, thanks for the game. I'm gonna do one soon again. The reason I stopped is because my environment. Yes, soda has the fructose corn syrup. It is deadly to the liver. And because it damages the liver, but doesn't kill it, that part of the liver that needs to supply nutrition maybe to the disc in your back. Yes, believe it or not, my diet is the reason for this situation. In addition to other factors, hard work and what have you, but what we were discussing is the most important thing that you need to know. No, they do not. Ghost Rider says, damn, Monsanto doesn't play. Now, this is a very important fact, that our food has been modified. The food that they have us at every angle. Even if you think you're eating organic, all natural, no preservatives. Yes. But it has been genetically modified. And that genome is not compatible with human biology. So remnants of it stay in the neck and shoulders. This allows our captors, dark influence, usually ancestors or some other being close to you, your family line. But those dark energies, because of the toxins in our neck and shoulder, it allows influence. And that influence is what leads us to even darker paths. So, what I was suggesting is that if you are going to have fusion surgery, then you better have a cleanse. Say for 3 days beforehand, in order to clear out as much heavy matter as you can before the surgery. Because I didn't. I thought the DocuSate that they gave me DocuSate as a stool softener. The stool softener is great. It softened the stool, but because the peristalsis is halted, reduced because of the anesthesia, even that softened stool cannot move. How about that? So, stool softeners, don't waste your time. Because for it to be really effective, you have to push the bowel matter through the abdomen. When you do, it creates pressure against the wound, against where the fusion took place. But from the inside, where you're not expecting to have pressure, especially solid, undulating pressure, where you're already inflamed, it was the worst 24 hours I've ever experienced, waiting for the cleanse to happen. Ghost Rider says, man, I love your realness. I know. Well, somebody's got to be real. If I'm not real, then we're still in the matrix. So, I tried olive oil. Drank a lot of olive oil. And that was good, except for one thing. Because of the porosity of the fecal matter. It absorbed the oil, and that oil it didn't go anywhere. It didn't help it. There was so much. It had caused, the folds of your bowel, of your intestine. It caused them to expand, to stretch out. So now it's full. We call that impacted. That is an impacted bowel. So to that already tight situation, I had to add Epsom salt. So adding Epsom salt with water helped to break it down, but not enough. So I had to take another round of Epsom salt with the water. And that eventually got me through the situation. So this is why it's important. Say 8 ounces of water, 1 tablespoon of pure Epsom salt, not Epsom salt with any fragrance or bath substance in it, just plain Epsom salt. Mix it up till all the crystals have dissolved. Drink it down. It's better if you drink it cold. And expect a reaction in about 1 hour. Now, the advantage that Epsom salt has over laxatives is that laxatives cause undulation. This is how the bowel squeezes fecal matter all the way around the different stations that it has to go through on its course of digestion. The problem with that is that you just had back surgery. That area is inflamed, swollen on the outside, and here you have undulation on the inside against the freshly operated on vertebra. Not good, man. No. So, Epsom salt does not cause peristalsis. It simply flushes the bowel. It allows the bowel to move very smoothly without causing internal pressure. And this is the key factor that you must know before having fusion, surgery, and after. Because once you return home and you begin eating lots of protein, they always suggest you eat lots of protein. Protein is very porous, especially after it has been converted by the liver to feces. So, you're going to need some Epsom salt to soften it, keep it going. If it's still not moving after drinking 8 ounces, you have a choice. Drink another 8 ounces or drink 16 ounces with 2, maybe 3 tablespoons of Epsom salt. Maybe 4. I use 4. So, yeah. I don't play around. The reason you will want to control how much Epsom salt you use is because it has a kind of caustic action. And that action, it may burn your anus. So, you will want to keep your concentration regulated. How much Epsom salt you use versus how much water. So if you use 16 ounces, I wouldn't go more than 4 tablespoons to avoid a stinging reaction back there. Have you ever done an Epsom salt cleanse, Ghost Rider? Have you ever done an Epsom salt cleanse? If so, if you're watching this on the replay, if you've done an Epsom salt cleanse, please type Epsom salt cleanse in the comments. Now, it's not very common, and here's the reason why. Imagine the most bitter thing you have ever placed in your mouth. Multiply it by 4. That's the Epsom salt drink. But we all know that bitters are good for you. So even though it tastes horrible, it's so good for you, and it doesn't make the body addicted to this type of cleanse, this type of laxative. It's not technically a laxative. Ghostwriter says, yes, Epsom salt when I was young, living with my grandparents. I'm those grandparents now. This is what we do when the children, like if my son has a lot of junk food, then he might get constipated. So we'll give him a small glass, drink it up, you know what's up. And he knows what to expect. It's not a violent, I gotta get to the bathroom right now type of reaction. You'll feel it. Now, once it reaches the point where you are ready to release, it is liquid, so you will at that point have only a matter of seconds. But it will feel so relieving. So much flatulence, so much cheese and flour, bread, rice, caught in the folds of the bowel. There are better cleanses than this. Or I should say cleanses that you would use in conjunction with this cleanse, an internal cleanse. We'll discuss that on the next live. But I cannot stress enough the importance of doing an internal cleanse. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. I am not qualified to give you that information, that type of diagnosis. See, I don't even know what it's called. But I can tell you this, I have experienced the worst pain ever. And an internal cleanse kept me from going to emergency. I was about to go to emergency. So Ghostwriter says, in South Africa, we have a low self-esteem, hence why we eat unhealthy, hence why I started going back to gymming during the Sagittarius moon. Congratulations. Controlling your body, your diet, is the beginning step of enlightenment. Learning how to control the rhythm and frequency of your body, your muscles, your organs, and then taking a degree of pride, if you will, in yourself. This is love of self. There is nothing wrong with that. I mean, I love you. You should love you too. So I'm doing my best to eat better. As you see, I'm out in nature. I'm barefoot. Let's see if I can even show you that. I think I can. You see? Hello, wait. You see my feet? You see my feet? I'm out here barefoot. And that is part of our grounding routine. That helps with my overall health. But as I was saying, you should not have fusion surgery without watching this first. If you got any value from this, give it a like. Go ahead and share it. Put it in a playlist. Ghostwriter says the schools used to say a healthy mind in a healthy body in a healthy environment, but we forgot that truth. South Africa is polluted like a line from Scarface. Wow. Well, it is not just South Africa. It is not just the United States. It is not just Brazil, the UK, Scotland, Japan. It is not just there, you see. The dark occultists, the dark forces that have us under control right now. So they are losing control. The cosmic position has changed such that our pineal glands are becoming illuminated. This is why there are indigos. And because of this, they must pollute us further in order to slow us down, slow down ascension. Ghost Rider says, I think South Africa going through a Pluto return, hence the pollution. Well, I can tell you, the dark occultists who run this world, they use the celestial movements as their guides, as their force. They add the cosmic force to their intention, to the manipulation they have used to guide our energies to manifest everything, whole new realities. And we're in a hypnotic loop. This is the matrix. This is the matrix of our education, our parenting, our communities, our society, our whole legal structure, medical structure, every structure that they have, every part of it. But yet, I can tell you, our time is now. The time of light is now. I'm not alone. Ghost Rider says, why folks love the Matrix. The truth is so nice. No lie. I'm going to tell you why people love the Matrix. Imagine if you saw injustice happening in front of you. But the injustice is by being committed by someone who has an official emblem. Will you intervene? No. Who would? You might find yourself under similar prosecution. So, this is the matrix. We allow it to exist. It exists because we say it exists. Ghost Rider says, I love your purple shirt. Matches today's vibe. I love how the colors of your clothes match the topics. Well, I really just threw it on because I wanted to get outside before it rained. It did rain, then it stopped. Then it rained again and it stopped. So I'm out now and it's great. It's beautiful where I live here in Utah. It's very beautiful. Let's see if I can give you a panorama. I don't know if it will focus out so far, but you might be able to see the mountains. kids playing. Just life, you know. That's how we do. Utah is a very diverse weather. Well, let's be more specific. Price, where we live, is very diverse in its weather from moment to moment. So the clothes I usually wear are, they dry fast. So that if I do get wet, yeah, it's not such a big deal. But did you have any more questions or anything more to discuss? We will discuss more about this internal cleanse and how to make it even more effective. So, Ghostwriter says, damn, that's a huge yard. Nice. I don't know how Americans be obsessed. Wait. Be obsessed. Here in Africa, the houses is small. Well, you know, it always happens that, yeah, I see you. Obsessed. You know, it is the nature of this matrix that we are distracted by that which we see in front of us, especially if we see that someone else has it and we do not. Then that reality becomes a stronger reality, and that reality is the obsession. Even though what you may have is beautiful, your cup is full, but you look over there and you see your neighbor's cup and you want his cup. His cup looks so good in that tiny little house where wild animals could snatch your ass up and eat you. Yeah. But then again, you know, there are many dangers. There are many blessings in the world. I believe it is important to find your own path. Let's see here. Ghostwriter says, what's your thoughts on grain goods for bowels? Well, they are good because they are fibrous and it does scrub the bowels. However, you should know grains are the reason when you look at a caveman, Cro-Magnon, all of those ancestors, their teeth were not like that. Do you know why? Grains, phytic acid produced by an overabundance in the mouth when you eat it, then it breaks down the walls of the teeth. This is a result of industrialization, our civilization. As we progressed with agriculture, our diseases also progressed. This you will find to be the case. So, what would you eat? Excuse me. Meat and salad. Very little dressing, especially dressing that has fructose corn syrup. You want something like a vinaigrette. Olive oil, raspberry vinaigrette, lots of garlic, lots of onion, very little grains. So, grains are good, and yet they are bad. the choice really is yours, depending upon your circumstances, your environment. This is what I do. I may have a dish of unhealthy junk food. I may have a meal of excellent nature farmed food, but I ask that this meal be blessed, that all of the ancestors, growers, preparers, all of those who are enjoying this meal as I am, that they should receive light, purify this meal, this drink with light. Does that reduce the toxicity? No. But it does reduce the negative impact. It reduces the clouds, the negative attachments that are associated with that. So we're just standing up a little, stretching our legs, because it's a beautiful day. And not walking. Oh. I'm going to show you my incision. Yeah, I know. It's I know that's a long scar. The scar is about 10 inches long. So they had to go into my back, open up where my spine is, and jack up the vertebra. As a result of that, I have gained 2 inches in height. 2 more. I was originally 5'10", but because of the problem with my back, I was leaning more and more to the right and just couldn't stand up straight. So now, no problem. Let's see. Ghostwriter says, your incision reminds me when I got traditional circumcision common practice in South Africa. Well, no. I'm circumcised as well. It is a common practice in North America to circumcise the young boys. However, my son is uncircumcised, if I may share that. And you know, it was just a matter of choice. Many traditions, cultural traditions, a lot of them are I'm not saying that traditions are wrong or culture is like not civilized. However, Ghostwriter says we do it with no anesthetics. Oh, good to know. I won't be visiting there for a circumcision. But yeah, wow. And okay. Okay. I don't, yeah, I guess a lot of times it is done without anesthesia. So that is just a common practice that has developed as a matter of hygiene over the years. So different hygienic practices have grown, knowledge. Ghostwriter says, LOL, laughing my ass off. That's why son boys be dying. Well, you know, that is a choice. We all make a choice. And in our choices, we must live with the consequences. Now, it is a matter of, if you will, a guide, maybe even as myself, to offer some experience that might be useful so that the next or the one hearing this knowledge should grow beyond my errors, at least to some degree, and at the very least create new errors. So I'm getting a little tired now. We've been on for quite a little while. I'm going to call it, and until next time, make sure you investigate the Epsom salt cleanse. Until then, thank you for your participation. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Namaste.